Recording in progress.
Welcome to our today's coaching session. I warmly welcome to Zoom audience and also people who are on Facebook Live, and even if you are watching this recording after the broadcasting, I warmly welcome and I appreciate your interest in this. Today is a very important topic for. We started last week a new series in connection with the consciousness studies which we are doing from last couple of months actually, and that series we started 1 or 2 weeks ago about spiritual principles. Last week we learned about spiritual principle number 1 and number 2. It was worth to read, learn, contemplate, discuss, and also answering the possible question. If you have missed it, then you can go to my YouTube channel, and then you can find the recording there. So we will study those principles here. So total there are 14 principles, and that we are reading from the book The Map of Consciousness explained by Dr. David Hawkin. Dr. David Hawkin is a spiritual authority, and also he was a psychiatrist in America, and he had such a balanced life of both science, philosophy and spirituality. So he wrote amazing lifetime books from last couple of decades. People are get best benefit of it, and I am also getting a benefit from this. So we are going to study the next principle number 3, 4 and 5 today. Before I go to, I want to just briefly inform you that our this podcast and also this live video broadcast usually happens every Sunday around 1 p.m. London time, and the topic and subjects related with this podcast are various, developmental psychology to applied philosophy, spirituality and enlightenment to sociology, business, personal development, and more important, about living a genuine life, the life without any fake movement, the life without any dangerous learning which we do from our parents, from our school, our societies. So it is an humble effort to help you to remove the impurity from your life which our society has polluted the day we born actually. So in this regard, this is a very advanced education. It's a very highest learning, and the people who are dive into this world and they are victim and they are product of this worldly life. I'm talking about non-genuine life living people. They find it very difficult and very opposite what they believe basically. So my learning and teaching is about shaking your belief system, but helping you to living a very sound and helping living a genuine life. I do write on maratibalisha.com. You can go and check on the website as well. So let's start our principle number 3. Usually we read and we discuss about these principles. For the Facebook audience, I think you will not have a reading screen because of the technical limitation. However, my Zoom audience is um, on my Zoom screen where you can read it. So you can watch this whole recording there, and also sharing screen with the text taken from the book. So let's go and we will read the spiritual principle number 3. The spiritual principle number 3 is, the headline is, be willing to overlook and forgive. So let's go into and dive further into that principle, what is saying by Dr. David Hawkin. Be willing to overlook and forgive. This willingness allows the serious spiritual student to resign from the self-appointed duties of being the one to judge, correct, control, direct and change the world, and express opinions about everything. As a serious spiritual student, one is no longer obligated to continue these codes. Instead, they are turned over to divine justice. Inasmuch as the mind has no idea what the reality even is, relinquish these former duties will be a relief and also bring an end to a lot of guilt. It is therefore quite helpful to give up causes and rallies for the oppressed, downtrodden, other victims and sentimentalities. And in the last, each person is merely fulfilling their own destiny. Allow them to do so. With detachment, it will observe that most people enjoy the melodrama of their life. So basically, Dr. David Hawkin is telling us that whatever the life we are spending, we are living with, we have to overlook it. We have to reconsider your life. We have to reshape and do some contemplation that are you living a genuine life? Are you living a happier life with what you deserve? Are you not polluted with what you've been taught by your society since you're born? So this is our invitation to overlook and forgive about other things what have been come to your life. What does it mean by that? You need to leave and you need to quit all things which you are already engaged with. But with the safe exit, you must go for your spiritual upbringing, and that spiritual compass, that spiritual direction and governance will change 360-degree the life which you are doing, and you will have a quality of greatness in your life. In this principle, Dr. David Hawkin is also saying that you need to turn to your divine power. You need to turn to something which is greater, and you believe as a super higher power than what you believe it. So in this capacity, you must uh, need to know that there is a divine power greater than what you have learned from this world, no matter which stage or which place of your life you are, which location you are living in the society. So that all needs to be overlooked. That all needs to be overlooked, and you must forgive these things. Okay, so and then the duties and roles which you are performing already in a family capacity, in professional, uh, or in a personal capacity, they will, as it is going on, but now everything will be transformed. Okay, so you basically are changing your outlook, the lens through which you see the world, you perceive the world. Okay, and you have to come out from melodrama of your life. You know, the if you go to the stage, there are a lot of good stage dramas which provoke your emotions. Okay, the same acting we are doing in our life as well, and I need to come out from this melodrama of my life. uh, we become exaggerated in our emotions because our actions are helping us to show our emotions fakely, unreally, and that's why we have to come out from this enjoyment. Okay, um, we need to detach from this thing. No matter, but this requires awareness. This requires a huge dedication. It requires your commitment to face and live by truth you come across. Okay, that's why this life is so challenging. But people or the spiritual seeker like you, like me, when they decided to live a genuine life, then everything come across in our journey of life will be accepted very, very happily, and with thrill, with amazing passion as well. Okay, sometimes the difficulties will come, but that difficulties will be as a challenge is to go to the next level of quality of your life. So this is the beauty of living a spiritual principle based life. Okay, um, so that is the principle number 3. Let's go and have a read the spiritual principle number 4. And I would like to say hi Jenny, good morning. I believe you are okay. Good, good. So I would request you if you can start reading it and let us know what the Dr. David Hawkin is saying to us.
Spiritual principle number 4. Observe people with compassion. Observation reveals that physical appearance is a great deceiver. Most people look like adults but are not really adults at all. Emotionally, most are still children. The emotions and attitudes that prevail in kindergarten and on the playground continue on into adult life, but are hidden in more dignified sounding terminology. Within most people is a child who is merely imitating being an adult. The inner child we hear so much about is actually not inner at all. It is actually quite outer.
Thank you. It's a great reading, and it has a quite interesting message in this principle. You know, when you got the broader perspective of your life, and when you become really proactive, like Dr. Stephen Covey um, spread this awareness through his business book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that the proactive people, they carry their own weathers, and they are not reactive. They stay always proactive. Uh, and this proactive only can possible, number one way, there are two ways, that if your proactivity is backed by your vision of your mind, your consciousness, and that only possible when you have a good spiritual um, awareness, like our class does in this. The second approach, even if you don't have spiritual awakening experience or learning, then still as a basic human being, you still can try to be proactive, and there is a high chances that many times you will uh, act as a opposite, which is being reactive. But that proactive and reactive nature of your life will take you, will drift you, will slip your life into a spiritual awakening or spiritual journey. If you are a very, very true seeker and you are a truth lover, which we are doing in our class every Sunday. However, my approach here is to help you to stay proactive, lifetime proactive, uh, by following the spiritual principle number 4. And what does it mean? Always look at the events. Of course, every event usually is controlled or covered by people. So, in other words, all events and happening around you and the people in your home, in your office, at your workplace, in your society, in your neighbor. If you will start to look every person with compassion, then you will not be reactive. Okay, and in this regard, because you have to understand, we are no longer mature people. Unfortunately, we are mature physically. Yeah, I'm a taller. I'm a muscular body. I have a huge sexual impulse. I have a huge emotional impulse. Um, I have lot of knowledge of lot of subjects which I taught. I studied in my university, in my college, in my school. In this capacity, yes, we are mature. Okay, but that maturity is not the real and genuine maturity. That maturity is actually you copied your society. Whatever you study in your college, in your society, what you learn at your school, in your workplace, you just copying other people. Okay, why you want to go in your business in a higher role from, let's say, secretary to manager, and if you are a manager you want to become director. Why you want to do this? Because you have seen other people, you have make idealize the other people to go to the higher roles and higher positions at workplace. That's why you are doing. It's nothing new, it's nothing unique. You just copying other people in your life. Why you become the millionaire? Because you have been seen many happier millionaires on the TV, on around you, in your family. That's why you want to become millionaire. There is nothing uniqueness, okay? And therefore, also that can put in any other thing as well. Why you want to marry? Because you think that the marriage is the need of the of life, because you need to fulfill your emotional maintenance through your partner. You need to have a physical sexual fulfillment from your partner, and you need to have probably reproduction. You want to produce replica of your life. You want to have children like you. And why you are doing? Because other people have done. You learn this thing from your parents or your guardians, or so everything we are living with is just a copy work, okay? Nothing uniqueness, nothing thing. And therefore, what happens, we are indulged in this copy work, copy paste, and also our thought which comes in our mind, that is also a copy work. We learn all thoughts from probably movies, Hollywood movies, dramas. Probably we are a good story listener, and then we start to become a good storyteller. But all these things are part of from my city, from my society, from my country, or even whatever I'm engaged to. The spiritual principle number 4 is referring to that we are not mature, okay, the genuine mature, which have a uniqueness. Therefore, we are grown-up kids, okay. We are adult biological, but we are basically a bigger children, okay. And this our inner child or outer child is just a product of imitation from other, okay. So therefore, if you see bad people, if you see wrongdoings in your surroundings, or the scenes event which make you disturb, just think that they are still children. If somebody, a gambler or a terrorist or a rapist or other severe criminals, if you come across in the mind, or I mean, there's a thousands of list of movies and dramas made on crimes and thrills on the Netflix and everywhere in on internet, and every story is a unique, because we living in a life full of crimes. But here is saying that you need to see that even though what the worst crime they are doing, they still are children. Because if they have learned that the sensitivity of the crime what they are committed to, they never done it. They won't done it. Okay, so why they are doing? Because they don't know what they are doing. Okay, they're behaving a kindergarten children's which are highly in emotion, and that you are emotion when you are like in 30, 40, 50s. You still are child. Okay, but you need to see them as with a compassion mind and compassion eyes, so that you don't become reactive. Okay, you don't, because you cannot control them. Okay, you are not policing them, are you? Are you going to change them, or you have taken responsibility from your society that you will going to fix their issue? No, you can't. You are a simple, humble individual living in your home, okay? And you can't change anything. However, you can work on yourself and see them through the compassionate eye, okay? And just see and become hilarious that oh, what a foolish child that is, in a form of big adult who did that crime, okay. And that will help you not to be reactive, and also you will have a love for them and a prayer for them that may God make them more mature and a true adult in a true spirit, so that they know what they have done brutally. Um, so that, but that requires a lot of big vision around you. Usually we become very reactive, we become very oversensitive when we hear news and we watch BBC documentaries about certain crimes or maybe in America, Fox News sensationalized media, which is actually all media is now sensationalized. They want have more viewers, so they make the stories in a more mature and beautiful way that people and audience uh, become stick with them, and they basically hijack your emotions through their videos. But never allow them to be hijacked, okay? Because you are enough mature in spiritually, you know that somebody has done this crime, somebody killed someone because of the stupid, silly nature or bad learning they had. If imagine that if somebody has a very ideal environment when they were raising from their childhood to their adulthood, do you think that that child could kill someone? I mean, the adult could kill someone. If our society brought a good nurturing environment for every child, nobody will become a criminal when they become adult, isn't it? It's very simple. It's not too straightforward. And we know that every person, whether they are terrorists, whether they are even I will say the army people. The army is unfortunately from every country, not particular country. Their army are involved in collective criminal activities when they destroy the other nation completely. This is the gigantic, I mean, the evil task you do. But we can see this thing as a compassionate eye that if the country of that person who were trained that army with more moralistic and ethical grounds and and have trained them that not to hit and kill innocent civilians or even not to bomb on what we call it on the buildings in the city. There are the rules and regulation of the war, okay? And if you are being ordered to bombard on any civilian land or civilian premises, you refuse to bomb. Simple as that. Your ethical and moral grounds will tell your general, and you should have maturity. Look, general, I am a soldier. Okay, I have been taught and I have been trained to kill the other soldier, not to kill the civilians. Okay, I'm resigning from my job. I'm sorry. I'm not going to bombard any civilian territory. Okay, thank you very much. So this sort of courage only comes when you are very spiritually committed and you are driven by strong spiritual values. Um, because you see the other people with compassionate. You only kill or combat in the battlefield who have arms like you. Okay, um, tanks can bombard on tanks. Aeroplanes can bombard on other aeroplanes. Okay, but if there is nothing other in this world, we unfortunately living like Russia did in Ukraine. Uh, they bombarded on civilian grounds, okay, without any legal or following the war rules, and they killed so many thousands of Ukrainian civilians, and that happens in other part of the world as well. So why? Because we just going a copy paste work, and that copy paste work is very dangerous. Okay, because that make us not to compassion. So let's go further. This principle have some more explanation by Dr. David Hawkin. So Sorry. Sorry. So let's go and we will read it further, what this principle number 4 is telling us. So I would ask Jenny if you can still available for reading, please.
Okay, and I do have to leave after this because I'm about to go somewhere.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. As people grow up, they take on various identifications and copy what they conceive of as adult behaviors and styles. However, it is not the adult who is doing this, but the child. Therefore, what we see in daily life are people acting out the programs and scenarios that they identify with as a child. The young child, as well as most animals, already exhibits curiosity, self-pity, jealousy, envy, competitiveness, temper tantrums, emotional outbursts, resentments, hatreds, rivalries, competition, willingfulness, and petulance. Seeking the limelight and admiration, blaming others, disclaiming responsibility, making others wrong, looking for a favor, collecting things, showing off, and mode are all attributes of the child.
Thank you. It's a great reading. Thank you so much, Jenny. So it is a further explanation that even we see in our daily life the people and their programming through which they behave, they act as a child, like they are a big children, and there are the common traits in every child. Like most of the children, they behave. Uh, they become too much jealous quickly. They start to compare themselves with other. They are emotionally very overreactive as well. They are they start to hate and love very quickly. So but that all things adults do as well, isn't it? I do, you do, I think. So that's why we are children, and we are not enough mature. So this principle is the principle number 4 is saying to you that that you are responsible for the things which is not in your favor, and that's why you need to come out and stop behaving like a children, a big children, and that is the thing which is going to work with us. So so this principle number 4 is still further saying, and we can still read this principle number 4. So, hi Javeria, how are you? Are you able to read the paragraph for me, please?
Yes, hi, please. Yes. As we watch the daily activities of most adults, we realize that nothing has really changed. This realization is helpful for compassionate understanding rather than condemnation, stubbornness, and opposition, which are characteristics of the 2 years old, continue to dominate personalities well into old age. Occasionally, people also manage to go from childhood to adolescence in their personality and become endless thrill seekers and challenges to fight. They are preoccupied with their body muscles, flirtation, flirtation, popularity, and romantic and sexual conquest. Conquest. there is tendency to become cute for seductive, glamorous, heroic, tragic, theatrical, dramatic, and historical. Again, this is the child's impression of adolescence being acted out. This the inner child is envied and impressionable, easily programmed, and easily skewed and manipulated.
Thank you. It's a great reading. So, in this paragraph, Dr. David Hawkin is still saying about the principle number 4 that it is all part of our compassionate energy, that we must realize that we need to see the event through compassionate eye rather than a condemnation eye. And compassion is a very big visioner. And if you are not compassionate, then of course it will not help you and make you more reactive easily. Okay. So because doctor is saying many people are also managing their things from when they were child and when they become adult, and during that journey they have lot of things they come across through popularity, their physical muscles and biological things start to appear, but and also it helps them to make some meaningful conclusion, and they start to live with it. So this living is basically compassionate premises which they must needs to follow. Otherwise, we all do condemn the people. We all do protest in our world in different scenario, but there is no any solution because we are lack of compassionate energy. We are lack of love. We are lack of respect about especially other communities, and that's why this principle we do not practice, and therefore we are in that principle in a very very opposite way, and that help us not to grow maturely, and we remain the child. Okay, even we become old age, but that old age is only my physical or biological age. My mature emotion wise, thought wise, I'm still child, and that we have to overcome. We have to build this as a compassionate thing. So that's it. So we did learn principle number 3. We did learn today principle number 4, and what our God and Allah demand from us, and see the life in a bigger picture way. And that two principles of reconsider and overlook your what you are doing, and forgive other, and forgive your current life, and the principle which is related with look every person, every community through compassionate eye. Okay, not through radical eye. And these two principles are the principle of big leaders, big Sufi, imams, yogis, monks, all people who are in that realm in all across the world. So we will continue to study these principles. The next principle number 5, the next principle number 6, and I will add 1-2 more principle in this scenario. So these spiritual principles, they give us direction where we need to take our life next, how we can interpret our life in terms of this principle. We need to live this life, this precious life given and gifted by God and Allah, and that is a very precious thing that only become a precious journey when we live by principle, these spiritual principle. Okay, and that will continue. Okay, so thank you very much for giving the time today. I will bring more principle. There are 14 principles actually, so we have studied so far 4 principles. Okay, so that's it. If you have any question, then you can ask me. Otherwise, I will hang up the class for today. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday, the same time, with more principle to change your life. Thank you.